Hola Year 9. So we are continuing our topic of free time and sports. We did 2 lessons on los deportes, so talking about sports. And in today's lesson, we're starting to look at the vocabulary for free time. So los pasatiempos is the word for hobbies. In other words, how you spend. Spend is the time pasa, and tiempo is time. So time spenders is how they sort of say hobbies, okay? So by the end of today's lesson, you will need to be able to identify and understand some different hobbies in Spanish, and then how to give an opinion with those hobbies. So if you're working in your book or on the sheet that I provided, if you want to use that, then you can put en casa, fill in today's date. So it might be something like jueves el 26 de febrero, whatever it is, okay? And then los pasatiempos, hobbies, is your title. And when you're ready, let's continue. Continuamos. Okay, so just to recap a little from last lesson and a bit of vocabulary for us in terms of sports, what I want you to do is correct each of these sentences. So each sentence has got one mistake in. You could just jot these down on a whiteboard or in your books, or add it to the sheet, up to you. Okay, so they've all got one sentence mistake, except for sentence 2, which does have 2 mistakes. So what I'd like you to do is find the mistake and then correct it. If you're struggling to correct it, you could just write the sentence out and circle the mistake, or otherwise all you need to do is write out the wrong word and what it should be, then the right word. Okay, try and complete at least 3 of these. Usually there is something wrong with one of the verbs in the sentence. So let's look at the first one, for example, together. So you want to pause to give yourself time to have a look at it and then continue. So, mis padres juego al tenis. Mis padres are my parents. Juego, the O is there. The verb ends in O, that means I. So my parents, I play tennis. That doesn't make sense. Okay, so there's a problem with the verb there. So therefore it should be juegan. So if you go back to our different present tense verb endings, you might need to have a look back in your book or at some work that wherever you worked when we did the present tense. Okay, so they verbs always end in an. So now you have an idea of the kind of mistake. It's normally about the verb and they've got the wrong ending for the person. Have a go at completing 3 of those, and if you want an extension task, you could translate all or some of these. Okay, let's go through the rest then. So, juego baloncesto, pero no juega la gimnasia. Okay, they're missing the juego al. You have to say juego al with sports, and you don't play gymnastics, it's practico, I do. If you translate it, it means I play basketball, but I don't do gymnastics. Number 3, I like to do sailing, but it's la bella, not el bella. So in this case, it was a gender that was wrong. Okay, so I like to do sailing. My friend and I play football. Well, this is the they spelling, as we've been reminded here, of play. It should be the we spelling because it's my friend and I. I'm included, so jugamos. Mi amigo y yo jugamos al fútbol. My friend Pablo does athletics. Well, this says to do, so it needs to be the he spelling of does. Mi hermano Pablo. So my brother Pablo does athletics rather than likes to do, And then cada día, every day, my sister plays swimming. That doesn't make sense. It's got to be does swimming, okay? Rather than play. So muy bien if you've got a few of those. It's tricky finding the mistake because you've got to get used to your verb endings, and that's a very GCSE level thing. So well done if you found some of those. Okay, let's just recap a couple of opinions. Okay, so don't forget me gusta, I like. For example, me gusta la natación, I like swimming. No me gusta, I don't like. Okay, so we're going to use these and simply put a whole verb after these for our hobbies. So we're not going to say I play guitar. We need to say I like to play guitar, or I like playing. So you need to have the whole verb. Tocar, to play la guitarra. So don't write these down yet. There's a list on your worksheet. I'm going to explain what you're going to do shortly. We're just going to practice the pronunciation first. So repetir, repeat after me. Tocar la guitarra. If you can't roll your R's, don't worry. Just say it like tocar la guitarra. Okay, like send the R sound. Me gusta, I like to play jugar con los videojuegos means with video games. So let's try that. Jugar con los videojuegos. Jugar con los videojuegos. Next one. Listen to music. Escuchar música. Escuchar música. So say música, not música. Música. Okay? Me gusta bailar. To dance. I like to dance. Me gusta bailar. Me gusta ir de compras. I like to go shopping. Me gusta ir de compras. Ir de compras. So make sure you're repeating these because that will help them stick in your heads. Because we're not getting much chance to speak Spanish at home, are we? Okay. Leer. So this one we've got to break up the two E sounds. Leer. Leer. Okay, me gusta leer. Cantar, to sing. So I think, sorry, that one was to read. I like to read. I like to sing. Me gusta cantar, to sing. Ver la televisión, to watch TV. So ver, so we get that B sound. Ver la televisión. So not television, televisión, visión. Okay, navegar por internet. To navigate the internet, to surf the internet. Navegar por internet. Hablar por teléfono. So there is an accent on the E, so that's when we need to put the emphasis. And the H is silent. Let's try that again. Hablar por teléfono. Okay. Then cooking is, or to cook is cocinar. Cocinar. If you said cocinar, you're not wrong. It's just more of a South American or American pronunciation. So cocinar. Okay, to go out with friends. Salir con amigos. Salir con amigos. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is on the worksheet, you write out the English that's missing, seeing how much you can do from memory, or if you're working in your books or you want to get extra practice of the spelling to get these to stick in your head, you can write out all of the Spanish as well as all of the English, okay? So pause the video, write out how much you can, and then when you need some help with the English, unpause and we'll check them. Okay, so here is the English, okay? So just double check. Jugar con los videojuegos is on 2 lines here, so just make sure they don't go out of sync. So to listen to music, escuchar música, bailar is to dance, not to go shopping and so on, okay? So just be aware of that as you check your English, okay? When you've got a full list of Spanish and English, either in your books or on the computer, wherever you're working, then let's move on. Okay, let's recap some more opinions now. We already revised these two. So what is I like? Hopefully you said me gusta, okay? And then I really like, we add a mucho to it. Me gusta mucho. I like a lot, in other words. So if I wanted to say I really like going shopping, which actually I don't, then I would say me gusta mucho ir de compras. If I want to say I love cooking, then I will say me encanta cocinar. I prefer to play guitar. We use prefiero tocar la guitarra. So we've used these ones before, not so much adding the mucho. This one is newer. So let's try this. Prefiero. Then the negatives then. So we know no me gusta. If we want to say I really don't like, then it's no me gusta nada. So nada means nothing. So it's like saying nothing about that pleases me. Because remember, gusta means it pleases me. That's why if there's something plural, we add an N. So nothing about it pleases me. No me gusta nada. So if I want to say nothing about dancing pleases me, or I really don't like dancing, then it's no me gusta nada bailar. Okay? I hate, what else have we talked about? I hate going out with friends, which I'm sure none of us moment hate, I'm sure you'll like to do that more, but odio salir de compras. Okay, so just sticking that whole phrase after. So what I'd like you to do is next to the happy faces or the sad faces on your sheet, fill in the Spanish, just so we've got the extra practice, the spelling, help them to stick in our heads. And the same if you're working in your book, fill in those in your book, okay? Right, so we've got the two things we need now, or the different types of opinions and our hobbies. So let's put some together. So either on your worksheet or in your book, you could call these out if you want to just practice the pronunciation, or you can write out to make sure you're getting the correct spelling. So how would you say, I like to go shopping, I don't like to watch TV, I really like playing guitar, I hate singing. Okay, so pause the video and say and or write these sentences. Okay, so let's check these. So here's the spelling and the pronunciation for you to check yours. Me gusta ir de compras. No me gusta ver la tele. Me gusta mucho tocar la guitarra. And odio cantar. Okay? Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is to leave this video, and you're going to go back to the study zone page where this lesson was, and on that page there is a link to this free time vocabulary quiz, or you could simply go to the study zone Year 9 Spanish, scroll down to the free time section and you'll see this quiz there. Okay, if you still can't find the link, let me know in Teams. So have a go at practicing all this vocabulary we have been doing in this quiz. If you have time at the end of the lesson, then come back to this video for the next extension task. If not, make sure that you have submitted what you've done today and you've had a go at that quiz. Okay, muy bien, you know. Okay, if you're continuing then, here is our extension task. So what we'd like you to do is write a little bit about what you like to do in your free time. So we'll be improving this next week or next lesson by learning some phrases about when, so on the weekend, on Tuesdays, but you can give it a go now, starting to add those things in. So your paragraph might say something like, in English as an example, firstly, I like to play video games with my brother because it's fun. However, I hate going shopping because it's boring. But on the other hand, I really like food shopping or something, okay? So you could use an online dictionary if you want a bit of extra variation. Use wordreference.com, okay? If you're looking for things like on the weekend evening, either ask in the Teams or have a look online or have a go at those next week, because like I said, that's what we're looking at next lesson, okay? So muy bien if you're having a go at that writing, and submit that Spanish paragraph with the rest of the work you've been doing today. Fantástico, Year 9, and adios.